Look at that. I almost had it too. Almost had it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live stream for Moto Amino. As I was telling the guys, we sometimes start on CP time. Actually, it's really not CP time. It's a whole lot of stuff in the background that we're trying to get squared away and get everybody invited. And we didn't have everybody, unfortunately. We may have one person drop in a little later, but this is how it is. This is real life. This is live. You got to be able to adapt and overcome and move through it. So our actual talk today is going to be, you want to meet, bro? So you know that's going to be about motorcycle meets. We want to go ahead and discuss some ins and outs, or roundabouts of us getting together doing moto meets, period. So we got our regular guest online for the panel today, and we'll go ahead and do our introduction. And from there, we'll introduce our guest that we have on tonight as well. So nothing's new. You guys know how we do this and how we roll. We'll get started. So if you don't mind, I'll start first of all with our Kentucky brother on the line. If you don't mind, sir, introduce yourself, what you ride, and also your position as well too at Moto Amino app.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mac from Mac Daddy Moto. I ride a 2012 CBR 1000RR. I am the Kentucky State representative for Moto Amino. And you can check me out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you know, all that good stuff at Mac Daddy Moto.
Check him out. Look to his right every now and then. When he looks to his right, you'll be able to look to your right. And you'll see his co-pilot. She's always there. At least, I'd say what? She's there about 8 out of 10 videos, right?
Just about, yeah.
I mean, man, I'm telling you, I'm envious. I'm envious. I would be a little greener if I wasn't so dark, but I'm so envious. Can't wait till my wife gets out there with me. All right, so our next one we're going to go ahead and do is Mr. Stunner J, our UK. Go ahead, sir. Same as usual. Just introduction, what you got going on. Let us know how you been. As soon as he takes us off mute, because I think you're using your phone.
Yeah, he's got us muted. I don't think he's going to take you off mute, man.
Not yet. All right, so go ahead, Tom. You can do it. You can do it for us.
Yeah. Throttle Deviant on all the social media shit, YouTube, all the other crap. It's all Throttle Deviant. I ride a 1998 Honda Superhawk VTR 1000. Yeah, that's me doing my thing.
And Mind Chaser, you there for us, brother?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Go ahead, man. Give us the infamous. I don't know what radio station voice you got because I don't want to say nothing bad. But go ahead and give us that particular radio station voice and introduce yourself.
You are now listening to Mind Chaser 814 Videos, coming at you live from Pennsylvania. My ride of choice is the 2015 Kawasaki Ninja 3636. I like to ride.
I like to ride.
There you go.
Aaron Hall.
Dude. See, this is how we do it, Brad. This is how we do it. We lose our mind. We have no mind.
Right, I'm back. I'm sorry.
All right, Jay, go ahead, sir. Your introduction time.
Do I really need to? Come on, no, I'm joking.
Yeah, you are part of the family, bro.
Yo, so I'm Jay. You should all know me. I've been here for about the past year or so you guys should know who I am. What I ride is a fucking carpet at the moment. I ride a carpet. So yeah, that's about it, really. So
you ride a carpet?
Damn right.
Yep.
Damn right.
But I'm about to really keep showing my age. What was that movie?
Who? What one?
The Disney movie where
Aladdin?
Robin, yeah, thank you, Aladdin. Robin Williams did the
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, that one, yeah.
My bad. I know that had nothing to do with anything we were talking about, but
Magic Carpet Ride and all that shit?
yeah. There was another one though we've seen that was a Disney movie, but it was black and white. They rode in a carpet too. No, that was actually a car. What was that?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Yes, thank you. I knew somebody would be able to help me on that one. Who was that? Dick Van Dyke, wasn't it?
Yep. Now you're showing your age, dog.
Yes, sir. Like Family Guy says, let's censor it so it'll be beep, Van beep. All right, guys. So we have our guest on. We were going to have another guest on tonight, and they may drop in later on, so I won't say anything about name or not. If they do show up, that would be great. But we do have our one of our live guests that's going to be on with us tonight. We want to go ahead and let him introduce himself and give him that moment, please. And everybody, give him what we always do to our guests: warm welcome. Let him know we want him to be here. And sir, introduce yourself to us.
Well, what's going on, guys? Nola Easy 504 on Instagram, on YouTube. Don't really have too much posted yet, but I'm getting there, working on that. Leader and representative for Louisiana State on the Moto Amino app, and I'm currently riding a 2016 Triumph Daytona 675R.
Oh, you sexy motherfucker.
Oh, I'm still in love. Every day I look at it, it's joyous.
Damn.
So we got our usual gang is here actually in our live chat. So you guys see him, Tree Monkey's there, Syndicate's there. You got Riding with Rapons, my man, is there. Shout out to you, brother. And you also got Craven from the app. Craven 600 is available as well. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Donna Main has been on our live chat for probably the last, I'd say, probably more than 4 weeks. You let me know if I'm wrong about, I think it's more than 4 weeks.
Okay, so you are going to need to tell me who's new and who's not, because I've missed out some.
Oh no, these are all of our people that are on the live chat. In the live chat.
Oh, right. Okay.
We don't have anybody that's new to our panel at all right now. Shout out to Bo About. Tell me, man, Bo About, because I'm actually international, so I can mess up a whole lot of easy English words and make them British words too.
Bo.
Yeah, I want to go for Bo for life. Shout out, man. Thanks for being here. Oh no, hold on. Shout out to Bo for life. Thanks for being here. Because if I say man and you're not a man, that'll be my fourth.
Fourth time, huh?
Yeah, and I don't want to keep going.
Didn't that start with freaking Gears?
That actually, I did it with her slightly, but didn't get caught. And I really foobarred it up with K Squibble. I really foobarred that one up. But everybody foobarred it up with her. She said.
There's Kate.
And then let's make sure we say what's up to Drew R3, my Atlanta home man as well. Yeah. He's making moves. I don't normally do this, but I'm gonna do it. You guys got to check out not only his post but his channel. But I'm waiting for a hat that he had as a prototype right now. It's off the chain, man. That lid is beautiful. So he has some apparel that he's doing too. And also shout out to Dave Hoffman for being here, because I know Dave was here last week too. So guys,
self-advertisement. Woo.
So guys, we're gonna get right into it. This is I guess what, I try not to be too serious, but then again, that's not easy, because some of this stuff
never serious.
Yeah, not serious. I try not to be too serious, but I do want to make sure that we see how important this subject matter is, as well as other stuff that we've talked about. The season is coming upon us for a lot of areas here in the United States, especially. Unfortunately, for other areas, we've had some really bad weather, snow, blizzards, you name it. It's been pretty crazy. And also over in the UK, you guys get a lot more rain than we do.
Oh God!
Yeah,
literally, we should just change our name to the country that fucking rains all the time. Yeah, great.
So I want us to talk about, our Moto meets. And I figured, to be honest with you, I know for a fact we have an ambassador already on our live crew. That's going to be Mac Daddy. And you guys need to check the link that we posted as well to this on the channel for YouTube, and also on our blog for this, and his profile on the app too. But he has a motorcycle meet that's coming up pretty soon. And I think it's going to be pretty good, especially since, what did you say? Not sponsored, but actually, what is the word we use for it?
It's hosted.
Hosted by
Yeah,
Indian.
there's no money exchanged. Indian Motorcycles in Lexington is graceful enough to host the meetup. We're going to be meeting there, and in fact, they are even courteous enough to let other manufacturer motorcycle dealerships come and be a part of it. So
That's cool.
That's cool.
Not only is Indian Motorcycles hosting it, but Lexington Motorsports is going to be there, and Central Kentucky Motorsports is also going to be there.
Awesome.
So let's give a shout out to Indian Motorsports in Lexington, Kentucky for doing that and helping us out with that. Because that's, like you said, hosting something, regardless of being a sponsor with money or hosting it, period. They have a great area. It's great for them. It's great for the community. And like you said, they got the probably one of the best lots out there as well, too.
No,
But
yeah.
So what we're going to do is I had a couple of questions, as usual, that I'm going to ask you guys in the live chat as well as our panel. And I need you guys to be honest, forthcoming. If you got to be direct, you know me, my skin is thick, so don't worry about it. But for me, just before we start, I already have situations with being in crowds. My wife has been very supportive for me on that as well. So being in a crowd in a restaurant, being in a crowd in a large place, and I don't like going in a large crowd with our entire family together either. That's something that's a little bit distressing sometimes. I don't freak out. I don't start having cold sweats. It's just that I go into I guess you could say one of the words that you guys may understand better if I say it this way is I go into sensory overload. I start focusing on everything around me, and I'm not just focusing on my children and my wife, but I'm focusing on every person that's coming in contact with us, even when they're up to 25, 30 yards away. That's just something that I'm not able to not do. So
You live in condition white, or condition yellow, not condition white.
Right, yeah. So me being in a motorcycle meet, it would be a little bit more possibly it could be more stressful if there were a whole lot of bikes, but that's just, like I said, that's just for me. That's my thing. So what I wanted to do is do a stream on this and talk to you guys about it, because there was something that K Squibble said to me that really stood out, and we've talked about this before, but it was important. It was really important that we did this because I wanted you guys to hear from her. We want to make sure we talk about people meeting up with others from the app and riding outside their skill set. It's okay to ride your own ride. No sense going down or even killing yourself to try to keep up with others. She actually wanted to be here tonight, but she's not feeling well. But we want to make sure that we, in any form we could, make sure this statement was out there that motorcycle meets are fun. They're going to be the best thing you ever did when you ride motorcycles, period. Or one of the best things. The thing though is that in all honesty, they're dangerous. They're dangerous. They're just as dangerous as anything else when we go riding.
They're not dangerous as a whole. They're just the people that ride in them make it.
I totally agree. I totally agree. So since I have two guys that are on the panel that actually have set up these meets, we're going to go ahead and start by asking these questions and see if we can get some answers from you guys and the panel as well, and the live chat crew as well too. So first question, what ways do you believe are the way to market you having a meet? So you want to let people know around you that you're going to have this meet. How are you actually going to market it? How are you going to tell people about it? So if you don't mind, let's start with you, Nola Easy. Let's see, what would you do, or what did you do to advertise that you guys had a meet today?
I mean, pretty much, I'd just give it at least, I was pushing for a 2-week notice, that way it'll give everybody, kind of work it into their schedule to see if they'll be able to make it out, see if they'll be able to get off of work and, play the times out right to get it to where they'll be able to meet up with us, or, see if they would be able to, get it to where they would be able to, as I was trying to make it to where the meetup would be as big as possible with the largest turnout, trying to work away with everybody. Pretty much just posted on the app, told everybody that I could, posted into the group chat, and, just told everybody, spread the word, tell all their friends, see if they can get off work, same thing.
Cool. So you got one coming up. What's the date for it, Mac Daddy?
May 6th.
May 6th, you got one coming up. What is it from your standpoint and from what you did as well? Did you do other than Moto Amino? Because I want to make sure we do say it, that we do advertise these, because first of all, NOLA and MAC are actually the state ambassadors for their particular locations. So we can utilize the app and broadcast it out. What would you do other than that? What do you think you can do other than that to broadcast or market that you're having one?
Well, what I've done is not only Moto Amino, but I posted it, did a video about it on my YouTube page. I printed out flyers and took them to each of the motorsport places to put out. They're graceful enough to let me advertise in those stores. I've also put it on all forms of social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Plus then everybody I ride with and the groups that I ride with, I sent messages with the picture of the flyer to everybody on the phone. I mean, getting on here, talking about it on the live streams. I've promoted it on other live streams I've been a part of. So just basically every outlet that I get a chance to say something, I do. We've even got guys that have basically RSVP'd that are coming out of Tennessee and Ohio for this ride. But I also am doing it early because I want this one to be a big one. Like I said, I got the host for Indian. I've also got a food truck coming. And I'm working with a couple places where we're going to stop along the way, because the actual ride itself, if you were to do it in one go, would typically, according to GPS anyway, take you an hour and a half. We're going to have 2 stops for 20 to 30 minutes each to make sure that everybody has a chance to go to the bathroom, get something to drink. And so those 2 places that I want to stop at, I'm working with to make sure that they are going to be capable of handling, say, 30 plus people showing up to stop and use the facilities. So, there's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, it's
yeah. There's a lot of things. The stopping thing I'm bringing up is pretty cool, because that's one of those things where, all these different bikes, like my Magna that I had only had a 3-gallon tank on it. I mean, if once I got to 60, 65, a little closer to 90 miles on that thing, it was time for me to get ready to look for a gas station.
Yeah.
Shenanigans also said, Shenanigans PhDZ, they have one coming up April 2nd in Connecticut. So I'm trying to get info from him. If you don't mind, man, you can post it in the live chat so we can put it up too, of exactly where they're going to have it at, where the exact location that they're going to have their motorcycle meet.
He just posted. He just posted, man.
Yeah, I see it right there.
Another thing that this was my the first meetup that I was doing. Wasn't entirely sure how many people were going to turn out. So I mean, I don't have, the only people I do have that actually follow and look at what I'm doing are on Moto Amino. I don't really post too much on YouTube, so I wasn't expecting a huge turnout, but I was making sure that, I did not, with the places that we were setting up, that it would have been okay for us to, maybe if it was, like he said, 20, 30 bikes, that they would have arrangement for us to be able to, stop there. If not, I would have found somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that. That's one of those things you hear a lot about when it comes to meetups, is word of mouth is a motherfucker, man. Excuse my language.
Since when did we do that on this show?
But
I was seeing all of these, like these California meetups and these Atlanta meetups and these Florida meetups, and the turnouts were like hundreds of people. I was worried that, maybe I did, I was going to get that many people, and, I wasn't going to be prepared for having that much, and, some stuff was going to go wrong. But, that's why I did want to actually join in with y'all after, today. I was lucky. Today was, real good success, and everything went well.
Well, so he did post, for some of you guys who don't see the live chat, Shenanigans did say that his tentative meetup point is the Buffalo Wild Wings next to Danbury Fair Mall in Danbury, and the time is going to be determined. So we'll go ahead and try to keep in contact and see what we got, so we can post up and let you guys know as well. He's also going to get in contact with the local PD too.
Yeah.
and get involved with them. So before I go further, Stefan from the app answered the question for me too in his form. He said he believes the best way. Let me do this a little better. He believes the best way to market a meetup is always to have a breakdown of the ride. If it's a blog, an image with other riders from previous meetups works best because people see that others have joined to your meetups and they feel already part of it before it happens. Having the route prepared is a key factor. A lot of bikers can't go from the beginning of the ride so many times. They rather meet the group at a certain point in which they will pass. The best way in general, though, is to talk about it in the chat and to make everyone feel part of it. If everyone can get an idea in, there's a high chance that most of them will join. Hours of arrival, location of meetup, time of the KSU. I forgot what that meant, man. I screwed that one. Formation, routes.
Hands up.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, kickstands up.
Yep.
So the time that we're actually rolling out, or sorry, Optimus Prime, the time that we're gonna roll out, formation, routes, back roads, destination, etc. So like Mac Daddy was telling us earlier, how he's gone into the detail of his motorcycle meet that he's having. This stuff is really important too. And actually, that's just the tip of the iceberg from what we were talking before we started the live stream. If anything, let's say I can't ask this. I don't think they're going to be too much of a difference. I think they're probably going to be about the same. Jay, when was the last time you ever had or went to an actual meet there?
Well, I used to. Well, it's not like a big meet. Like we normally have like a like certain night. So then we all just meet up. It's like one day either per week, and then we all just meet up. There's really no big meets over here. That's the thing that sucks. Like,
Gotcha.
It's more like certain nights where you go drink and share bikes and stories, or just it's more for like, I don't know, it's
socializing though.
Yeah, it's completely different to over there to over here, because you guys have huge meetups where you can do anything. Over here, it's either pouring down with rain or you sit around and talk shit.
Gotcha.
So that is why I do want to move over there, because it's 100 times better, except for Trump. So
I got a really quick question for you, Jay.
Oh God, okay.
All right, since you guys are driving on the wrong side of the road, is your handlebars on the wrong side too?
Oh yes, of course. Matt, mate, you're such an asshole. But, yeah.
When I was stationed in Puerto Rico, when I first started really riding, actually we weren't calling them meets back then. I mean, this is 1989, 1990, but we would all meet at a certain place on Sunday. It was every Sunday around the same time period, and hang out for a period of time and leave from that area to go to a destination that we all agreed while we were sitting at this place. Now, I will say this, never had an issue while I was there riding. And seriously, you're talking every Sunday, 100 to 140 bikes.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, nonstop in this small little place in Fajardo, which was what we call the 60 bars. And it was 60 units in a building right off the beach, but not all of them were still open. And we would meet in this area, and there's a little access road off the main road right in front of the bars. You see guys up and down quarter mile or really an eighth of a mile, whatever they could do, just acting an ass. And then when the time came, we'd all gather together, and you'd hear bikes starting up, and people would start getting together, gathering up, and we'd ride together. Now, there, we have filtering and lane splitting here, that it's a big controversial thing, but there it was the law. You had to lane split or filter if you were on a motorcycle. The only restriction we had is you were not allowed to have more than 3 motorcycles go to the front of the lane. So that whole deal of everybody lane splitting, the next thing you know, those cars that are up front, there's like 16 bikes surrounding one vehicle at the light. That kind of thing you weren't able to do. But we never discussed if something happened. We never discussed medical issues. We never discussed, hey, if a group of us need to stop and take a piss. You know, it was just, yeah, we're going over here, the other side of the island. You better get your shit on. Let's go. Hopefully you got enough gas.
I think that's a little bit different, though. You know, I mean, because it's the same way. I mean, even back when I was a kid was one thing. It was like every weekend, you go out in town. There was a spot where car guys would meet up on the high-rise parking lot, and then there was a spot where the motorcycles would meet up, and it wasn't an organized thing. It was just if you had a bike, you showed up there and you sat around bullshit with bikes, and you get together, and all of a sudden someone would say, okay, I'm tired of being in this damn parking lot. Let's go over to this spot, you know.
Right.
I think that's a little bit different. I mean, because I even see that around town here in Omaha every once in a while where, you know, it's just a bunch of guys that kind of showed up. You know, you'll start off with like 2 or 3 bikes at a gas station, and then all of a sudden you'll see more bikes just kind of pull in because they see a group of bikes there. That's a little bit different than an actual organized meetup. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, because ours weren't organized for shit. They
No.
you took a laxative, find the closest fucking bathroom and shit your ass out. That was it.
There's a huge difference between a meetup and a group ride. I mean,
Yeah.
My normal on Thursday nights, for instance, our Thursday night bike ride is usually anywhere between 8 and 15 people.
Yep.
And, you know, when we're going to do the meetup, we're talking 30 plus. I mean, at the minimum, I know for sure it's probably going to be around 30 people.
Yep.
And then that's not counting the people I don't know who's going to be there that's going to show up because of the different motorcycle shops promoting it. And like Indian put it up on their website, which is awesome. They're actually self-promoting it also. So there's going to be a ton of new people that are going to show up that are going to be there for the ride, which is great. That's why we do this, is to introduce everybody to this community. So I'm really, really stoked about doing this ride.
Now, Mind Chaser said a while back, he rides with a crew of people as well. Hey, Mind Chaser, when you guys get ready to go out, how is it that you project or market it out or tell everybody where we're going to meet and when we're going to do it?
Well, I'm part of 2 motorcycle groups here in PA that we typically post a ride up on Facebook in our private group that says, hey, like maybe 2-3 days in advance, hey, meet up at the local gas station, which is the Sheets. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but meet up at Sheets, and we'll be riding to, you know, XYZ destination. And we'll, you know, depending on who the poster is, they'll give the rules and you know, riding conditions. And if you're there on time, great. If not, we kickstands up at a certain time. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So while I have my mic unmuted, actually, I don't know if I know you know, Dragon Chi, that I am relocating to Ohio, and I am actually I'm looking to connect with any Ohio riders in like the Cleveland area. So, you know, if anybody in the live chat is from that area, post up, let me know, so that way we can get together and you guys can kind of help me get networked in that area, so that I can, you know, venture out with you guys and you know, help grow the community out in the Ohio area. So you're much appreciated about that.
So you guys hear it. Anybody in the Cleveland area, go ahead and make sure, look him up on the app, send him a PM and let him know. And also, if we have a Connecticut ambassador, Moto Amino Connecticut, Moto Amino Ohio. I'm thinking of Connecticut for somebody else. Moto Amino Ohio. You want to reach out to him as well too. Let him know who you are, so you guys can get in contact as well and go from there. Because I know, like, Mac Daddy is actually also, he knows a lot of riders in Tennessee too, and that's basically that's how the app rolls. You know, you get to meet a lot of people from different states. So passing that information on before you get there, you guys could meet up when you get there. Period. It'll be pretty nice. I guess let me go ahead, because I was looking at the chat. Syndicate said, what do you guys do when you end up in a group setting with, say, Hell's Angels? In my case, I've ended up with them pulling up all around me, and I just dropped off to the back and then dropped out or dropped off of the actual ride. So have you guys ever been, so I think Syndicate, you're saying about you being by yourself, and the next thing you know, boom, you're just a part of this group that you didn't even know was coming up on you.
Well, I'll say that in the case around here where I live in Omaha, because we have a lot of MCs around here. First of all, ain't none of them gonna catch me. They don't ever pull up on me. I'm sorry, there ain't a Harley Davidson's gonna keep up with my V twin. That's just the way it works. And again, there's certainly, I don't know how much y'all know about MCs and stuff like that, but like AmVets and Angels and all them, they don't. I mean, if you don't have an American-made bike, you're not a part of the MC.
Fuck them. They ride Harley.
So when it comes down, well, they could technically ride Victories or Indians as well, as long as they're American-made bikes. But when it comes down to it, and I'm not saying that I say fuck them and I drop a gear and disappear type of thing. I knew a lot of guys from MCs back when I was in California, more so than here because I spent more time out there, and I've never had an issue with them. They all knew my feelings when it came to MCs. I was in the Marine Corps. I don't need to be a part of one of your clubs. You know, I'm part of the biggest gun club in the world. You know what I'm saying? So, but I never had no beef with none of them either, though. So I guess it all depends on you and where you're at and the general attitude of those that you're around, I suppose.
And they're going to ignore you unless you make yourself present to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will. They will just straight ignore you unless you decide to make a scene about it. Other than that, man, MCs, they don't give two shits about you being out on the road. And if they want to go around you, they'll go around you or whatever. You just get out of their way. They're not going to do anything real stupid. So
Right.
you just recognize they're there and you just go on, just like anything else, just like being in a group of cars or just another group of people.
So my second question was, do you want your meets to be based on a theme, i.e. fundraisers, school supplies for kids, riding for vets, etc.? And Stefan said it's fun to have meetups based on themes, especially when it's a holiday theme like Halloween, for example, though many times subjects like vets and fundraisers only target a certain age, which is fine. But unfortunately for my group of riders, we're all young and ride sport bikes, so our field of interest is curvy roads or a fun destination like go-karts, even after riding on motorcycles. The problem sometimes with fundraisers is that many people don't want to compromise nor invest time or money into it. It depends on the age factor. So starting with you guys, let's go with you, Nolan. What do you think? Do you want? Does your motorcycle meet need to have a theme? Period.
I'm not one on to have like the whole theme thing. I'm out to pretty much what I had this this little group gathering meetup thing that I hosted today. It was pretty much just to promote the app and just help get the community to grow. I want it to be a positive community, not everybody look at it as a negative thing. Like, I want everyone to enjoy this. And then, all right, look, a motorcyclist. Let's,
Got you.
I just want it as a respect thing, as in, you pay your respects to everyone else, and people are out on the road, we pay attention to everyone else. That's what. It's just all in good fun. Everyone needs to enjoy it.
Got you. Hear that? And go ahead, Mac Daddy. Do you need to have a theme based on yours? Do you want to have a theme based on some of your meets or not?
No, not at all. When you start getting into themes, I think is when you'll actually start losing the sight of what us getting together is actually all about. Now, if it's a theme between you and your best friends or whatever out riding around, that's one thing. But doing a community ride like we're doing, representing the app and just representing motorcycle riders in general, you don't necessarily need or should have a theme other than the overall basic theme of community. Because when you start throwing themes in there, that's when people are either going to like it or they're not. And you might miss out on meeting somebody or getting that community group together just because of a theme.
So have any of you guys ever ridden with a group or ridden period within a group that was doing the ride based on the theme?
Yes.
Toys for Tots like Marines do or something like that?
Now you're talking about a theme or a purpose?
Well, same. That's what I meant by it. It's a purpose, but a theme that goes along
Yeah.
with it. Like, for instance, we're riding for a particular person that has a handicap or a disability, and there's 60 of us that are getting together, donating our time and money and whatever we do. And, you know, you come and you bring the grill and cook out, and you sell the hot dogs and hamburgers, and that money you donate to this.
That's a little bit. That's
those. Yeah, exactly. Those are two different things in my mind. A theme is again like. I'm sorry. I was just gonna bring up that. What is that one? The gentleman's ride, the one where they all dress up in like suits and ties and shit.
Yes.
You know, that's one. That to me is a theme.
Okay.
One of the biggest group rides I've ever been on, which was over 650 bikes. It was nothing. It was AMVETs. It was Legion riders, VFW, combat vet riders. We were escorting the mobile Vietnam Memorial Wall across Nebraska. And we had over 650 bikes, and it was one of the best rides I've ever been on. I mean, there was news coverage and stuff because we started on one side and rode across the state. So by the time we got to the other side, you know, news had been broadcast about us, and it was like being in a freaking parade or something. And because of the event itself, what we were doing as veterans and people who have been there, it was respectful. So you didn't have to worry about a lot of the stuff you do when it comes, especially with people like me being on a sport bike. Get out there and get a little throttle happy or something like that. You know,
Right.
But yeah, I think that is fantastic. But to me, that's different than a theme ride.
Yeah, theme ride I was looking at as an actual theme ride, but what you were talking about, Dragon, was a charity ride and like Toys for Tots or whatever. Now I can stand behind that because that serves a purpose and it's a good, and like I said, that even brings in the community thing. That's a community gathering project to benefit a group that can't do anything. I don't want to say for themselves, but need help. You know, that's one thing. But like theme ride, like the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, or like Sport Bikes Only, or
Southern Tennessee Pimps.
Like yeah. You know,
right on their ride in their side cart. Yeah, but that's what I did mean. I meant themes in the first place, and then the next one I wanted to go to is charitable rides and meaningful event rides. You know, because not all of them are going to be planned the same. We say we want to do a theme ride, and this is what we're doing. Like I don't know how many of them did it, but you guys remember Angie and her boyfriend did a ride around, I think it was around Halloween, and he had full suit on as Deadpool, and she was going as our crazy Harley Quinn. Yeah, that's the theme ride to me. So during that particular period of time, a lot of people dressed up. But on the other note, trying to prepare, schedule, coordinate, and facilitate a ride that has to do with a particular cause would take a whole lot more effort into it to organize that, to make that go off well. You know, I want to do a ride for, let's say, for instance, I want to do a ride for motorcycle riders who've had accidents and have lost, but here it is, some of them that we got a charity that we have up because some of them can't afford their medical bills. You know, a family member has really been distraught throughout that financially due to medical. So we turn around and we gather together and say, we're going to do an actual ride benefit for this particular cause, and we organize it. We have a bike wash, we have a barbecue, we have little stuff that we want to sell, but all of this that we do, from time to the items that we actually sell out, that money and proceeds goes to those individuals to help them out. That's a totally different type of ride. I think that would take a lot more organization in it, which, for instance, throttle like yours, guaranteed that was a whole lot more organizational and a lot more people involved that we probably don't even know that were truly involved with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, the state troopers. I mean, there was a lot of people involved in that.
Yeah, governments, everything was involved with that. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what serious? You guys have an egg run once a year?
Yeah,
For
man, we
Easter?
do. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna
An
be
egg
honest with
run?
you.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Whoa. What's an egg run?
Okay, so it's basically we all like choose a certain spot to go and meet up, and everyone can either bring a egg or something like that, and then we stop around at like certain kids spots. That sounds so wrong.
Yeah. I don't know if I like where this is going.
and then we pass out eggs or toys or yeah, and then a certain amount of cash also goes towards like certain oh God, I can't think of the word, certain fuck, I can't think of the word. Anyway, fuck off that. Yeah, so the cash goes like certain
Like charities or whatnot.
That's the word I was fucking trying to think of. Yeah. So
Okay.
and that happens every year in when's Easter?
That's like now.
Okay, now then, yeah. Okay.
April, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So hopefully you left the milk duds out at the house instead of in your pocket then.
you got a pocket full of melted shit.
Basically, yeah.
So the third question I have: how do you, if any, as the persons who are actually organizing these meets, how do you plan them? If you have a plan at all, how do you plan these meets? I mean, no matter if, no matter if it's going to be 10 people or if it's going to be 30 to 60 people, do you think that there should be a plan to go involved with this this meet at all, period? Anybody started up, doesn't matter. Because unfortunately, I'm setting you guys up for the next question.
Sorry, I have not paid any. Go on. What was it again? Sorry.
It is, if any, how do
Yep.
you actually plan the meet? Whether it's a 5 to 10 people or a 30 to 60 people meetup, how do you plan? Do you put any plan into it at all? Just on, there's no theme, there's no organization that we're actually benefiting or that's going to benefit from our meet. We're just meeting the ride. Do you plan the ride every time you do this? Or no matter what size, do you plan the ride, period?
Most of my rides are impromptu. It's one of those, and it could be an hour or 2 hours before. Hey, let's meet up at Sheets, and we on our way. So it's like, that's part of that whole kickstand up by 2 o'clock. If you ain't here, too bad. So in my area, in my groups, it's a last minute, and we'll just kind of plan on the fly. It doesn't ever work out, but hey, it's one of those sometimes where if the weather's just right, and if you got a group of people that's off work at the same time, let's go. But I live in a state where we got all 4 seasons in one day, so it's like you got to get in where you fit in.
Yeah, we do both. We have our normal rides that are Thursday nights. And then sometimes it'll just be a random, hey, we're going to go down the drag strip. Who wants to go? We're leaving from here at this time type of thing. Or we'll meet you at the strip or whatever. And so we kind of do both. But for the most part, we kind of hit the same places because we have certain roads that we like to ride. So you always know where they're actually going to be at. If you're running behind, you can just make up time on the road, quote unquote. To catch back up with the group. But for the most part, yeah, we do actually both. So we have set times that we always meet and ride that everybody's aware of and everything like that, where we meet and what time. And then just on the, like Mind Chaser was just saying, you get certain times where it's like, holy crap, it's Sunday, it's 70, it's gorgeous. Send everybody in your group a text saying, hey, let's ride out to the gorge, meet at this place, and then we'll head out. But like I said, the crazy part about it is as long as you tell them your destination, you're going to end up running into them if they decide to ride with, because we take the same roads because there are better roads to ride.
Got you. Gotcha.
I've even had situations where, you know, I'll be riding up the road going one direction. I see somebody else I know just by their bike, and like I'll wave them up, hey, let's go, and they turn around, you know, bust a quick U-turn, and next thing you know, we riding out God knows where. So that spur of the moment happens all the time.
So we got weather plays a big part in it.
Yeah, not
the
everybody is
location
fortunate
is,
enough to
period.
live in Georgia.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, actually, I'd rather be in Hawaii or even South Florida, to be honest with you. But
Wasn't too bad here in NOLA today.
here, Arizona, I don't think it was that bad in Arizona. But hey, so only reason why I ask about the planning is that you guys, if you paid attention to the blog I posted up, and you know I'm always shouting out other moto vloggers that I check out as well. This is something that was out a while back that Miss Icy 600 posted on her channel, and don't know if it was actually a meetup that had to do with anything in particular, if it was just a let's hang out, we're all going to be meeting here. The word got out, everybody was ready, but it was a lot of bikes that showed up, and unfortunately, on the live chat, I put the link in it for you guys to see. But unfortunately, let's put it this way: somebody lost a leg, man.
Yeah,
Damn,
I
dude.
saw that one.
Yeah, and it wasn't good at all. And I don't. It's not that, you know, it was the fault of someone not organizing it properly, because I led up with these questions to get to a point. You heard what Max said about how he's planned and put all this time and effort into this meet that they're going to have. And that's a lot of time that he's put into it, period. And I got a feeling too, the next part of the question I'm going to ask, he's done as well too. During the preparation of this stuff, when you guys actually have a meetup, whether you are the organizer or just one of the people who are in the meet or at the meetup that are riding along, have you heard anything in reference to if an accident happens? You know, here it is. Let's say I'm just riding with 6 people, just 6 bikes total. That's including me. I would rather have a preparation goal just in case, because everybody knows, quote unquote, shit happens. And
Of course.
the thing is that, is everyone aware, you know, hey, if something happens, this is what we need to do. This is what needs not be done. Take over, contact police, contact EMS, whatever it is. I know you can't do all of these same steps with a group of 60 to 100 people, you know, anybody organ donors, you know, let us know kind of shit. But my thing is that you never know, man. I mean, you got somebody in this particular video on her channel where they're just riding, and one of the riders breaks off from the front to not stop at a traffic light. So to do a UE at another light to break out again because he wants to showboat. And he does, but not realizing that somebody in the pack that takes off with the light wants to showboat as well. But when he stops riding his wheelie up front, he's not paying attention. But the guy who's riding from the pack is riding the wheelie, runs slap into him, and basically almost takes his leg. Well, I think they do amputate his leg, but you see there on the scene, he almost took his leg completely off. And the worst part about that entire incident was those two things are not 100% controlled. But can you imagine how dispatch was handling that fucking call from 70 different people?
Yeah.
And that's the clusterfuck that I'm talking about. This accident happened. You had all these people running back and forth. You had all these people congesting even more traffic. You had all these people who were trying to help, and they weren't really in a good position to actually offer any physical help. Your help would have been better off with traffic control, because anybody could have came over and could have done more damage to that accident or that rider from the accident than he already had. But then you got to understand, when dispatch is getting this call, first and foremost, how many people knew where the fuck they were to even give a cross street?
Mm.
And then you got EMS running out every fucking where, and the local or the closest one, based on where dispatch is going to say the accident happened, that may not be the closest EMS or fire department. You know what I mean? So, and then too, like the city we used to live in, uh, man, our shit on the weekend was volunteer. We didn't have a station that ran 24/7. After Friday night, 11 o'clock, the volunteers took over for the weekend until Monday morning. I mean, and it's like that in upstate New York as well too. So what I'm saying is that we organize these meets, and they get to be pretty large. You know, like Nolan said earlier, he tried to make sure and maintain the idea of the respect towards other new riders as well, but also too, he was aware of, I hope it really don't get too fucking big. You know, like these guys get them in Atlanta, like these guys got them in California. Because, you know, as the organizer, from what I'm hearing when you say that, you were taking responsibility for all these riders. And man, let's be truthful. There's no fucking way you can bear that on your shoulders by yourself. So
No.
organizing a meet that does get out of hand or gets larger. Let's say I do organize a meet, we're going to have 20 people. But the next thing you know, an hour before the ride, we count out, we got 80 motherfuckers that just showed up. So did you have a backup plan? Did you have a contingency to your backup plan? Ask my 18-year-old daughter. There got to be 3 plans in my life. Plan, backup plan, and a contingency to your backup plan. Are we prepared to take on this? You know, everybody's heard or have possibly seen on YouTube a video where there was a meet and they actually have, what do we call those guys that'll ride up and stop the floor of traffic? Blockers.
Road crew, yeah.
So
road
they
crew
had
or blockers.
And they had these guys who were directed to do this. And one of the blockers was hit by another rider.
Yeah, I was there.
So you see what I'm saying? This is, but it wasn't because of the organizer. Because let's be honest, the organizer of that ride had a lot of shit thought out perfectly.
I'll say that, but I will say that this comes back to what we were talking about earlier. I can't remember if we were on the air yet or not, but we were talking about when it comes to picking a road crew. You hand pick your road crew. You make sure that those people know what it is to be a road crew. Because I watched that video a lot of times. And quite honestly, that blocker was in the wrong damn position.
Yeah, that was
he was in a lane of traffic. He was in a lane of traffic, and he wasn't even blocking the cross traffic. He was over. He was 2 lanes over from where cross traffic would have been coming into the group ride anyway. But
if you got a blocker though, if you're on a bike, you got idiots that's gonna be, you know, that they don't care about us on 2 wheels. They'll keep on going and pretend like they never even saw you, driving right through the whole crew, you know.
Well, that's why like our blockers have all. I mean, you roll up, and whenever we run and we do group rides, the ones that I've had blockers on, you roll up. I mean, you're directly in front of that lead car in the driving lane. The only way they're going to get through you, because I mean, you got to look at it. As a blocker, you have volunteered to put yourself between cars and the group. That's what you have volunteered to do.
Yeah, you did.
You know, I mean, that's the point of a blocker.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube, and it was mostly, you know, the Rough Riders, and I don't know if I'm shouting them out or not, but I've seen a lot of those videos where they've had people even in cars or, you know, Polaris slingshots blocking traffic so that way they can, you know, get all the bikes going on the same path.
You don't use the guy on the Grom as a blocker. You just, all the guys that are going to be blocking for me are basically on large cruisers, full dressers, things of that nature. Because I ride with a mix of riders. I ride with sport bike riders. I ride with guys on ultra classic Harley Davidsons, full baggers with their wives on the back. A guy on an Indian Chieftain. I mean, you know, regular standard sport bikes like Kawasaki Z800s and whatnot. So the guys that are going to be doing a lot of the blocking happen to be hand-picked, but also ride a larger motorcycle, which is going to make it a little bit easier to see. But back to what we were talking about the being prepared for if an incident happens. With my particular ride, I have it set up so that everybody registers. On that register is going to be your bike make and model, a emergency contact, your name. That's kind of pertinent information that's going to be on there. Every one of the road crew is going to have a map of the route, so that they can know exactly where we're at. And we're going to be doing pre-rides. I'm going to have the road crew go with me, and we're going to do the ride a couple times to make sure that everybody is familiar with everything, and so that we can plan all this out. We're going to be carrying safety equipment with us and first aid kits. And then if in the event of somebody does go down, one of the road crew, and only one of the road crew, is going to stay and make that 911 call. That way, only one person is calling. One person is treating. Everybody else is going to keep going on the ride, unless, of course, like say if it's a husband and wife, of course, if something happens, the significant other is going to want to stay. That's fine. Everybody else is to keep going. I'm going to keep leading. We're going to have one of the road crew stay to make that call, make sure everything is taken care of. Every one of us is going to be on Cena or, other headsets, so to speak, so that we are going to be in constant communication through the entire ride, front to back. And then if anybody joins us, say halfway through the ride, then I'm going to make sure that they ride behind the last person. They're going to file in behind the rear because they're not a part of that group. I'm going to make sure that everybody has a Indian motorcycle card, so that if something happens and they get lost, they can contact the Seth, who happens to be who I'm working with at Indian Motorcycles. He's going to have my number and can call me while I'm on the road. I mean, we like Dragon she said, you got to have contingency plans and everything else. So we've been implementing that in our ride also.
It sounds like I need to ride with your group, Mac.
You're more than welcome, man. You're only about 4 or 5 hours away once you get to Ohio.
Dude, I'm on a crotch rocket. That's way too long.
What I'm hearing though is that he's taking the responsibility of the ride and being the organizer to another level, which is something that you would like for somebody to do for you. He's looking at the safety aspect. I know Mac would rather go home as well too with his wife than end up somewhere in the emergency room. And I don't want anybody else to, as well, as the attitude I'm hearing. So as long as we can organize this and use the real word organized and keep it organized, it should work out pretty well. But we all know we're going to have a couple of people in the group, few people, probably more than a few, that are going to do a little craziness. But that's not the thing that we're getting into. I'm not trying to say you got to control the entire ride. It doesn't matter if it's 4 people or 40 people. We just want to know, shouldn't we plan this out, and shouldn't we have a plan to do it like, you guys said earlier, the route we're going to take, you planned it. I know for a fact the route that you guys are taking is posted on the in your blog on the app. And you got even potty breaks for everybody. You got, what I'm saying? You want to take a snack break, or you want to drink something, get your thirst on. All of this stuff has been intricated into placing it into this entire route of riding for a moto meet. That is what we should always strive to do, period. And I think if we did do that, maybe, just maybe, a lot of car riders would take us a lot more serious.
Yeah,
and
right.
also our cousins,
car riders, but
our cousins on the larger bikes too would look at us and probably not have such a stigma about super bike riders or sport riders as well. Because it's true. When you see, I think the worst that I've ever seen, period, with my own eyes, with any type of MC crew out there, is when I was a kid, and my mother's group that she used to hang with actually were Hell's Angels chapter here in Atlanta. But these guys were not rough. They weren't rough at all. But I do recall another crew coming up on them that was pretty rough. And it kind of put a bad name on it, or a bad taste in your mouth or the back of your mind. but not all riders are the same. Not all crews are the same. And as you can hear from Mac Daddy, his motorcycle meet is probably going to be 20 times different than the last motorcycle meet that somebody just had in another state here. You know, so who knows? I mean, you never know. It's different.
The funny thing is, especially when it comes to you talk about like Mac Daddy, the way he's setting his up. I mean, his I almost call it a convoy. His ride is set up exactly like a military convoy is in country, you know. And to my mind, it makes sense to have it that way. You know, that's again, that big ass ride I was talking about earlier when we were escorting that Vietnam Memorial Wall. That's how it was set up, you know. But it's about. I mean, if you're gonna put yourself out there to invite everybody to where you're gonna be to go on a ride that you are leading, you're damn right your ass better take some responsibility.
And so let me say this, because you guys know me well enough now to know that I will not do a stream without being controversial. So I'm gonna take what Throttle just said, and I'm gonna pass this out loud, verbally, audio, so you all can hear what I'm saying. If you are an actual ambassador for your state on this app, and you are actually coordinating these rides, these meetups, take some fucking responsibility, man. Don't go out here and have these guys and girls meet up with you and you think it's a showboat fucking meetup, and then you get somebody hurt or injured. To be honest with you, the app has nothing to do with it. The app has not a damn thing to do with it. There's no suing Moto Amino or suing Amino, period. And the developers of the app, you know, in all honesty, watch your ass, because the truth is your name is all over it. You're the organizer, and it makes your ass legally obligated to make sure everybody's safe. Now, I'm just being honest with you, but that is the law. That is the law.
But wait, why
organize that?
Why should the responsibility fall on the organizer or the leader of that ride if
you are the leader of the ride and you're out there doing stupid shit that causes injuries? You can be sued. Not if you're the organizer of the ride, some dumbass down the fucking road acts an ass and has an accident. No, not you. You can't get in trouble for that. But what I'm saying is that I'm trying to be PC when I do it, and you guys know I suck at being PC.
Speak your mind, brother.
Somebody has actually done that. Exactly what I'm saying. They've had a meetup, and from my understanding, they've acted an ass at that meetup. They broadcasted it. They recruited the entire thing. They put their name on it. They even attached Moto Amino to it as well. And they went out and they started doing stupid shit. And that shit can cause accidents and people to be injured. They have the right to sue you as the organizer. That's what I'm saying. If you do something to cause an accident or to place them in harm, they have the right to sue you.
Yeah,
so
if you cause the accident, yeah, that's true. However, it's like the saying goes, ride your own ride. If you're riding outside of your comfort level, you have to claim some type of accountability for your own ride.
No, you're right about that, but I can't go into detail without,
putting people on blast.
Yeah, so but you guys know what I'm saying. If I organize a ride and the six of us meet together and I go out and I say, keep up with me, and I'm running red lights and you're coming with me, in all honesty, you can turn around and sue me for the accident you have because you're trying to keep up with the organizer. It's the same clause as if you stole a TV from Walmart. I'm security at Walmart. I chase you outside the store. You and Tail get hit by a car that's going through the parking lot. Do you know you can turn around and sue me and the company I work for?
Now that's some bullshit.
I'm just telling you guys what the law is. I'm just telling you guys what the law is. That's what I'm saying. So as a organizer, as an ambassador, when you set this stuff up, I think you guys should listen to what Nolan and what Mac Daddy has done. You got to take responsibility and try to organize it to the best of your ability so that you can show you're being responsible on your end. I have nothing to do with the dickhead who tries to run red lights on their own.
So you telling me that I can go get me a free TV and get paid for it too?
No, I did not tell you that. But you can look it up. It was on the news, and if you want, you can always ask the wife. But that is the
now,
case.
if I get caught and I go to jail and I don't win my lawsuit, I'm coming after your ass.
I will say, I think that's something that's smart about the way about what Nolan's was talking about when it comes to his meet that he organized. I don't know if he had said how many meets he's organized before this, but if you're not someone who's used to setting up these kind of things, it's smart to start off small. You start with 8 bikes or 6 bikes or 10 bikes, and get that feel for what it is to set up this kind of thing. And then you move up to where you're getting to the 40s and 50s and big setups, so you'll know what it all entails. There's a lot. If you do it right, there's a lot of shit that goes into it.
Yeah. Yep. And then, this is a great opportunity for us to, I guess, like my boss says it all the time, feed off and throw back and bounce back off your peers. You guys can have 2 guys that are on here. I know there have been plenty of meets that we've seen on the app already. Posting more about how you organized it and what rules that you made up and so on and so forth, which is all of this drama I created is what's coming to that very last question. But you guys could feed off of these guys and find out information from them on, hey, how did it go, Nolan, with yours? How did you do this? And how did everybody ride? How did they feel after the ride itself? Did you have any incidents in the middle of it? So on and so forth. Because I'm going to have one later and I want to take from what you did. This is the opportunity to reach out to these guys to find out, to see how you might want to do it, But I will tell you this, like I said, I did set you guys up. So the fourth and final question, do you have any rules? Do you have any rules? You got any emergency plans? Did you plan out the routes or any of these when you set up your meets, whether they were a small meet or a large group meet? And what Stefan answered was, my main rule is to have fun when it comes to riding. I try to have a staggered formation in the ride, but sometimes people want to feel a lot more connected riding on the lane next to you and feel more of a team than a follower. They like brotherhood, not dictatorship. So many times I don't enforce that formation of ride unless I see a hazard to it. Another rule that I like to have is not to expect. As much logic as RSVP might sound, many times it can leave you disappointed with the people that actually show up. It's better to have the plan set and wait to see who shows up at that time. My secret is to always wait 30 minutes after the arrival time before the ride, even though I only mentioned to them 15 minutes, because without knowing who will arrive, you wouldn't want to leave anyone out. A little bit more. For people, it can be too compromising to RSVP in a ride. Sometimes they read it, but because they can see it and they know it will be happening, they rather just show up. So that's a pretty good point. So how do you guys feel if you are organizing it? And also, flip side, wear the other boots. How do you feel if you are the one showing up? If someone stood up and said prior to the ride, hey, we got several rules before this ride, and you look around and you're like, but brother, there ain't but 4 of us here. How would you really feel? Period.
That kind of reminds me of that the movie Biker Boys with Lawrence Fishburne. They kept a lawyer in their back pocket. It's like they had they had somebody that was on hand that was able to protect them in the event something unlikely should happen. So does that brings up the question. So do we have a lawyer? Do we have a medic? Do we have a cop riding with us just to protect us in the event something happens?
Right. And I know, like when my mother used to ride with the Hells Angels chapter here in Atlanta, 2 of them were attorneys. One actually was a builder. I don't know if you guys know what that really is, but he doesn't do the construction anymore. He just has the money. And he's the person that's behind those guys who are contracted to come build your house. He was one of those guys, and a couple of them work for the city. You know, city of Atlanta as police officers, and some work for the city. Period of Fulton, city of Atlanta and Fulton County. But I guess having that in your back pocket ain't a bad idea. But you know, you bring that up. You remember from that movie, there were a lot of bikes. But at the same time, goddamn, that was some straight up organization.
Talk about it.
There was some straight up organization. When it was kickstands up or kickstands down, it was done at the same time. I know that's, you know, really, really movie stuff, but just be honest. If 30 of us can march together for miles, I don't see motorcycle riders can't do the same. And I've seen it, especially with cruisers. Those guys, they look like fucking weld oil machines when you see them going down the highway together in a group. So is there a problem with having rules? Do you mind having them? Do you mind dishing them out?
No, you can set rules all day, but you always gonna have that one jerk or that one asshole that's gonna wanna, you know, pop it up on one wheel and want to be that showboater and, you know, make it and ruin the experience for the whole rest of the group. So
I think that's when you, again, this is the particular ride that, again, going back to that one ride that I was on, the biggest ride I've ever been on, was one of the things before we all kickstand up, it was straight up told, especially when it came to that kind of thing, was we had our road crew already picked out, and they were also what we referred to as the sergeants at arms.
Mm-hmm.
If they rolled up on you because you was doing something stupid, it wasn't a question of whether or not you could stay in the group. It was how far away from the fucking group you better get. You know, and I mean, you gotta have it because you're gonna have that asshole who wants to show off in front of everybody. You know,
You guys are sounding really mean right now.
You know,
yeah, but you are talking to a couple of vets that just don't mind.
No, don't get me wrong. I have been on rides where the purpose of the ride was to act like idiots, and that's a totally different type of ride. You know, so it is good to let people know that are going to be coming with you what you expect, what type of ride this is. It's kind of like again, going to Nolan's or Mac Daddy's when they're talking about this is a easy ride. You know, this isn't let's see how much we can carve up and things like that. This is an easy ride, a relaxed, lazy ride. You know, or again, let's go act stupid on the freeway ride. You know.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, another thing that people aren't taking into consideration is hand signals.
Oh,
Because like where we're going to be going from staggered to single, you know, the staggered will be, you know, like we're going to start off in staggered and everybody's going to be in staggered when we originally leave. But once we hit the country, we're going to go to single. So the hand signal for that is going to be one finger held up and not the middle finger.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What is this hand signal you're speaking of?
You know, everybody should know at least, you know, if like say we come across, for instance, say we come across a wreck, which does happen on the occasion on some of these back roads. You'll catch somebody went off the road and is now blocking the road partially. You know, and that could be on the blind side of a corner, which is never good. You come around a corner at 60 miles an hour that you can't see around until you're already committed into the corner, and bam, you have to stop immediately.
But though you've got to be stupid to take a blind corner at that speed.
No. Here, a light corner that's easy to take at 60. Dude, we live in the mountains, man. You can come around a decent corner that you can take at 60, no problem, with no hands, but you can't see around it because there's mountainside on the side of it or trees lining it where you can't see through the turn. If you don't know the turn, you be cautious. But you could literally come around one of those curves and all of a sudden there's a car blocking your lane.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's where then everybody's going to need to know to put the fist up in the air, you know, that we're coming to a stop and we're coming quick. So it's just knowing distances, making sure everybody gives everybody enough distance if they have to swerve or move or dodge a rock in the road or something like that, a dead animal, or whatever. Because the worst thing you want to do is, hit a 25-pound raccoon that's laying dead in the road. It's all bloated.
Or buffalo.
I don't care what bike you're on. That's not buffalo.
Oh shit! I mean, you guys have seen what deers do to cars. You know what a deer do to your bike?
Yeah, you can ask my father-in-law. He got tagged by a deer on his Harley.
Oh my
See?
god.
I've
He
seen-
went
heard about plenty of guys hitting alligators down here.
Yeah,
Or
now
Yeah.
I have seen that too. I've seen that more than I've seen a deer. More than I've seen deer incidents with motorcycles. I've seen alligator incidents in Florida a lot.
Well, yeah, they don't move as fast.
Here a lot. Especially
like-
it's on I-10 also, the interstate.
Yeah. Those bitches come out a lot on I-10 for some reason, man. I don't understand. Maybe they just want to come out and get a little serious sunbathing, but
What's that?
The road's warm. They lay on it to heat their bellies.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yep.
saying. They come out and get that good sun, but the thing is have you ever seen a track? Well, I'm not gonna get into that either. It's just worse regardless of anybody hitting an alligator on an interstate.
You don't want to hit anything while riding a motorcycle. I hit a possum the very first night I went riding, period. Very first night I went out. I had just bought the bike the night before, just got to ride it home. And then so the next day I'm out riding and I nailed a possum at 45 mile an hour. And he ran across the road and it was either hit the possum, hit the tree, or hit the oncoming car head on.
Yeah, I
I
choose
chose
possible
Awesome
too.
it is.
Yeah, no
And,
shit.
That was not fun. I mean, I don't know how I didn't crash, especially first time on a motorcycle. I mean, I literally had no experience, hopped on a bike and bought it the night before, and then got on the next day and started riding to learn. And
Did you go down?
No, I didn't. I got airborne. I did get airborne, but I didn't go down. Like I said, I don't know how I didn't crash. I just happened to land just right and kept going. I think I pinched a hole in the seat and peed a little, but
Yeah.
Because my
I
Rock-
went right back home.
Rocky's Road says you got to watch out for them Bigfoot in East Texas. You get a lot of damn fur on your shit when you run them over.
Yeah.
But I just want to make sure, guys, that I really, again, like last week's blog, I did not do this title or this subject matter to start drama with any particular people or
Yes, you
any
did.
particular motor vlogger that's done meets. I mean, because we have one coming up here in Atlanta coming up soon that's going to be just as big as it always is every year that
Yeah.
one of our big motor vloggers has posted up. My thing is that we all agree that there's always going to be, like Donna Main said, a bad apple. And sometimes, unfortunately, like I responded back, bad apples sometimes have the whole barrel to be looked at negatively. And that's something that we want to try not to do. But it's true, regardless of the organizer, regardless of how perfectly organized this ride is, even if it's a short ride or pretty much of a good distance, it is still ultimately that bike rider's decision, whoever he or she is in that group, to ride their ride.
Oh, absolutely.
But we also know that it's a human nature thing. They're either going to try to catch up or they're going to try to do something that they saw someone else do, or they're just not truly experienced enough to actually be involved in a group ride, because there's a lot more than just riding in a group. I mean, 6 of us are riding together. Pop quiz. 6 riders are riding together, and the first rider that's the lead rider comes to a light that turns yellow.
Stop.
Should he stop or should he go?
Go.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna stop because I'm concerned about the 7th rider behind me that may not make that light. And if they decide to try to keep with us, that dumbass to our right is gonna go through the light at green, and they're gonna take them out.
But that's what I'm
my
saying.
thought process.
That's what I'm saying. Ride your own ride. You know
So
what
what
your
I'm
comfort
saying-
level are.
I'm saying though, me, if I'm the organizer, I'm gonna ride mine and ride theirs too.
You
And
have to.
I think that's what Mac Daddy is saying as well with his. He's not just riding his ride, but he's trying to organize a group of people to ride with them that will actually ride the ride of everybody to make sure they're safe. And that's not always the case at every meetup. Some meetups are just, hey, we're going to meet at the local B&H at 3 o'clock today. However many come, and then we're going to just ride around. And I mean, literally, that's exactly what they say. And then here it is, 70 of us show up. And where are we going to go? Well, I just figured we go out of the parking lot and go right. I mean, the next thing you know, you got 69 motherfuckers just going right. But nobody knows that when we get ready to go out of this mall parking lot, there's a traffic light. All 69 of us plus the leader can't make it on that green light.
I'll be the one that makes the left.
You know, if you were smart, two or three of us would get in the left lane to trigger that left arrow so the rest of us could go right because we're going to have a longer light. But, you know, my point is that it's not always a conception that we're thinking this process through before meeting all of us together and then heading out for a ride. You don't always post the actual map of the ride and show everybody. Everybody doesn't do this all the time. So even though those things don't always happen, you know, we just got to maintain the ride, to ride our ride and be safe as possible. And the truth is that, you know, we throw the word around a lot, but I really mean it when I say it. And I know a lot of you mean it as well. When I say community, if I'm riding with you and you break down, and let's say your tire blows out because you rode over something, and it's going to cost us $160 to get you a new rear tire. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see why we all can't pitch in to buy you a fucking tire, man.
Oh, I got a story about that.
Yeah.
You don't have the scratch to do it. We're all riding together. Why not? Because that's what those guys taught me in Puerto Rico. If you broke down, 10 to 12 of them would stop and they would help work on your bike to get you back on the road to ride again. And then you turn around and say how much I owe you, and they'll tell you straight up, the next round is on you. You buy us something to drink. And that's it. I mean, that's a community to me, you know, but what I'm saying is that that's not the concept with every ride we go on.
The last group ride that my wife and I did, we coming back from Pittsburgh, PA, we had two of us. Well, the whole group of us got pulled over, and right from the very beginning, we was like, yeah, if you get a ticket, we gonna all chip in to make sure that ticket gets paid because you was the leader. And we was following you, but you know, one ride, one group. So we gonna make sure that we because we was all in it, you know. So yeah, you gotta have that sense of camaraderie there.
Right. And then at the same time, like I said, a lot of people, we don't ride like that with a group. We're just out just to ride and have fun. And I'm not saying anything negative about anybody who does that. I'm just saying that if it's the same group of us that meet up all the time and we go out riding all the time, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's happened before. One guy has called me and I'm not even riding. He'll say, hey, my girlfriend's bike is broke down on the interstate. And I told him, where is it? Where are you exactly? Meet me there. I wasn't riding that day, but because we're close like that, I think that's the right thing to do. And then next thing you know, hey, I think my chain is loose on my bike. I'm not sure. Well, you want to go by your shop? Hey, I'm about a mile down the street from your house. You mind taking a look at it? Yeah, drop on by, pull it in my garage, and let's look at it. I mean, we all ride together. What the hell? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, no doubt.
So now we got a lawyer, we got a cop, we got a paramedic, and we got a mechanic. Anything else we need?
We need a teacher. The teacher, though, has to be a sign language teacher to teach these motherfuckers how to use that damn hand signal. That's what we need. We need a sign language teacher to teach us how to use the damn signals. What the hell does this mean? What the fuck was he doing with that? You just zooming by at 75. He was saying single file line, but
my wife just brought up a point. We also need an accountant. So if anybody breaks down, they ain't got no money. We need somebody that got the money bags.
Oh yeah, but the bookie. Yeah, we gotta have that bookkeeper. Yeah, we gotta have that bookkeeper. Let everybody know. No, I pitched in $22, man. It wasn't no damn $12. I pitched in $22. You ran out of gas, and it was $12.33 to fill your shit up, dude. I remember that because I wrote it down right here.
It's on my tank.
So you know the rides are what we're out there for. The whole fun, the feel, and the experience is why we ride. But let's be honest, if we're gonna share this experience with a group of people, I think, I'm not asking too much. I'm not pushing anybody to do something they can't do. You guys got to have some camaraderie with each other. You got to be able to be there for each other, respect each other, look out for each other. If I act an ass, it's going to reflect on everybody in this group, and I would rather that not be the case. And two, I don't want the group to kick me out and I have to ride solo by myself all the time.
I have no friends.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have no biker friends to ride with at all. Well, I ain't got a problem riding by myself. You're a damn lie. Sometimes you don't mind riding with a group of other peers, and it does feel good. You stop at the same gas station, shoot the shit in the corner of the gas station. Everybody that drives by, look at you guys. You feel like a fucking superstar. Don't try to act like you don't. And everybody in this world, and just because we're dudes, and I know I'm gonna get some slack in the live chat on this one. Women, they do like attention.
Amen.
But ain't a damn man
damn
in this
right,
fucking world that won't sit back and say he don't like attention too. You a damn lie.
Speaking of which, hey Stunner J, did you ever get your bike back on the road?
Oh, we didn't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, since you've
Brought it up. Since you brought it up.
since you've yeah. Okay. Basically, so I will start from the very start because it's people obviously because you've asked that. Okay. So basically, just after Christmas time, I was riding down the road and a girl basically walked out on me and I went straight into her, and literally she went flying, the fucking bike went flying, I came off and everything else. So the bike is dead, completely gone, dead. She was okay, fine. I come out of it with bruises, cuts, a broken broken, not where your arm joins,
Your
that was
clavicle.
chipped and everything else. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was in bits. So that bike's gone, and now I own exactly the same bike as our own host right here, but it's in bits at the moment because it's getting a stunt cage.
You need more than a stunt cage the way you ride.
Cattle catcher on the front of that damn thing.
Hey, you know we're all family, Jay. Obviously, they just said it. You need to put a cattle push in front of your bike that's just plowing through fuckers like Resident Evil on your shit. That's not cool because I keep seeing a vision of this girl getting hit. And she's flying one way.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, right. Okay, right. Just so we can make things a bit more plain. Okay, my light was green. Okay, she just decided just to walk out, and I basically beeped at her. Okay, yeah, let me just drive on fucking pavements and hit people. Hang on a second.
Exactly right. That's not what he does.
Okay, maybe not a cattle catcher. Maybe one of those like big exercise balls. And you just bounce her ass off.
Now, have you seen two people run into that ball together on YouTube?
Yeah.
So you know that still is just like having a cow pusher on it too.
Yeah, but it look a lot funnier.
Yeah, and it'll make a certain sound.
I gotta know though, Jay. So once you finally get this bike back, will you be participating in any street legal meetups, group rides? Because from what I'm gathering in the short time that I've known you and we've been talking, your riding habits don't seem conducive to be riding in any groups. So
let's just be honest, man. You just punched that man straight in the balls on that one.
That was great.
Okay. So when I am sorted and back on the road, I will be going into some meets, but I will not say whether I will be acting legal or not. Okay, this is just a clause. Okay, so I will be attending.
Buddy. Keep it in the UK.
Well, actually, saying that, you guys are seeing me in it's August.
Yeah.
August.
Leave the bike at home.
Oh no, I am. Except though, I'm loaning a FZ09, so
Oh,
that's
Lord.
Oh,
gonna
no.
be even worse.
He couldn't
Okay.
bring it back over here anyway. You're not allowed to have right-hand drive in the U.S.
A right-hand driving bike. That's
So,
gonna be on the next James Bond movie.
Jay, so in August when you come here to the States, please let me know what state will you be riding in, please?
Basically, I'm riding in California, but
Okay, good.
Oh, you'll fit right in over there.
Lane splitting it all.
All right, guys. So we I know. Damn, that's gonna be far. So I'm not gonna be able to come out their way.
No. I was gonna add on that I am going to be coming to different other states too, but
Okay.
Leave
So this-
Ohio and Pennsylvania alone.
mind, I am coming around your house. I'm going to sit outside and I'm going to do a massive burnout on your foot.
He's like, he's gonna take a shit on your porch.
Hey, Mac Daddy, you coming down to Atlanta, aren't you?
Yeah, June, or was it July 10th or June 10th? Yeah, June 10th for the Moto Vlogger meetup. I'm going to be down there again this year.
And we'll be able to.
Isn't that one with like Chase and all that, isn't it? Chase and Dan and all that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the big one that's coming up. It is every year he tries to do one of them.
I went last year, had a blast. I'm going again this year.
Let's see how that turns out. But guys and girls, it is that time. It has gotten to that point where we're going to have to call this stretched over 60-minute, 120-minute time period to an end. As usual, we really appreciate all of you who came and participated in our live chat. And I noticed too, a lot of you guys were like right on point with us. Not too many off subjects in the live chat, which is pretty cool, meaning that we're actually having some good content we're talking about because people are staying in that subject matter. And
so guys, you can now comment in the side chat what type of porn you like. Thank you.
There he goes. So,
and there's Jay.
I want to again appreciate all you guys for showing up, and those that I didn't mention earlier that showed up later on. Rocky's Roads, we had Syndicate Vlogs show up, we had KP Moto show up, we had Moto Girl Vlogs show up, we had Drew R3 pop in, Mr. 750, our other Atlanta brother, who popped on as well too. I'm missing somebody. I should have wrote him down instead of going by my old memory.
You missing me?
No, man, I'm not missing
you. We don't miss you.
How are we going to miss you?
Yeah, you're here every week except last week.
Fuck you
Actually,
too.
Here either?
Yeah, he wasn't here last week. That's because he was trying to take care of some other stuff too. But I want you guys, appreciate you guys for coming in. And also Nolan, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the fact that it was not last minute, but we were just concerned that your ride may go longer because we get out there and ride, don't want to stop sometimes. So we really appreciate you showing up, man, and giving us your information on how you set yours up. Looking for you to post the next one that you guys blog about for your next motor. Do you have an idea when your next one's going to be?
No, not entirely yet. I'm probably gonna probably push this off a good bit to give everybody a good chance to make it out. And I'm probably gonna try and promote this one a little bit more and see about setting it up a little better and get some more details in it.
Okay. All right. You guys need to check out the video, check out the blog that's been posted as well too. You can hashtag Moto Amino KY. Sorry.
Just don't add the jelly on the end. It'll be all right.
Yeah, don't add jelly, but hashtag Moto Amino, letter K, letter Y. And
Jelly.
You'll see what Mac Daddy has coming up for his next meet, or his meet that's going to be coming soon.
Yeah, smooth as dope.
Smooth as KY. I'm sorry. So, and again, for our live crew panel for showing up, Jay for being in such a bigger time zone, a further time zone than ours, showing up as well. We know it's difficult at times, man. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
Mind Chaser, sir, you guys getting yourself squared away and prepared for the next step that you're going through. Thanks for being here. Tell the wife we said, what's up?
Me?
Yeah, you. And thanks, Throttle, for being here again, man. We know sometimes things come up. We all have a life. We are missing, though. And you know, guys, it ain't the same when we don't have them. Gear Shots is not here. And we also don't have Bronix 26 with us tonight, too. But, hey, just keep following them. You'll find out what's going on in their lives. You know, it's not my business to tell you their business. It's their business to tell you their business. And the only way you can find out their business is if you're cool and close with them like we are.
Hey, real quick, is anybody going to be scraping the coast in Biloxi?
I can't go to Mississippi, man, in certain parts. I'm black. I'm just joking. That's actually Decatur, Alabama.
I will be down there. Hopefully, sometime the beginning of fall, the end of summer, I'll be down that direction. My family's from Mississippi and Arkansas. So
the Scraping the Coast car show is June 23rd to the 25th. So normally it's a whole weekend. It's in Biloxi. It's on the Gulf Coast, and I was probably going to see about setting something up for around that time to get some people down there.
Oh, that's cool.
That wouldn't be bad. Oh, we did have somebody show up that I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to. Big Bad Wolf Moto showed up. I'll go ahead and say shout out, brother, man. If you're not a dude, then I really deserve that one for screwing that one up. If you're not a dude.
You sexist pig.
Exactly. I'm racist. I don't like black people. I don't like Americans, actually. I don't like women. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people who ride on things that are non-super bike style. I hate baseball, basketball, football. I'm just an ass all around ass. I don't like kids. I just like the tax write-off. None of that's true about me. Sorry, none of that is true about me. I am the whitest black guy you will ever meet. Except for a couple other people I know, Mind Chaser. So all right. So guys, I appreciate you guys for being here again, and thank you guys for showing up in our live chat, talking to us, letting us know what's going on. Don't forget, check out your Moto Amino. And before we go, because I was gonna screw it up, I really was gonna screw this up. We do have to give our shout outs. Or it would not be, I would not be doing my job properly. the volunteer job that I so sweetly get paid for. Hey, somebody just posted a beautiful R6, man, just like ours.
Yeah.
On Mansion Hilltop. Nothing better than meeting up with some Amino friends. Killer Mark. I'm shouting you out, Killer Mark, because I saw it, man. I thought it was off the chain. One of the persons in his ride has an R6 that looks similar to my Mercy Ann, but hey, it ain't my Mercy Ann.
Hang on, okay, that's fine. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry. Go on.
Yeah, that's a nice bike. All right, so the deal is, though, is that we did want to go ahead and go into our leaderboards real quick before I go. I really apologize for that. I got to make sure I let them know. In our leaderboards, the most active in the last 24 hours. You got to get a life, girl. You got to get a life, because you are really killing them. And she's always in our chat too, as well, that we do, that we have a little private chat, and she's always on it. But that Norwegian biker, within the last 24 hours, she's been on it for over 440 minutes. And then second place comes Savvy 515. Now, this is the first time I've seen Savvy on the list of the top 3. So congratulations to you, Savvy, for being here. And a guy known as Blankets is in number 3 for the most active in the last 24 hours. But then we'll go to our Hall of Fame. And our Hall of Fame is a big deal. You got Numtree, which is in first place with 13,440 rep points. And then you got Jolly Rider, which is second place with 11,993 rep points. And tonight, welcoming Mr. 750 when he was actually in our live chat too. He's in third place with 11,064 rep points.
Oh damn, I missed Mr. 750 on live chat. Damn.
Yeah, he might still be there. Actually, he should still be there.
He's still there.
Now quizzes, number 1 so far in our quizzes is Diavo 32 with 11,138 points. In second place is Ian Harris with 9,472 points. And Auto Beast in third place with 6,078 points. You guys too that are on the app, check out the quizzes because they come up with some really good ones. Name that bike. You'll just see an image of the bike and get 4 multiple choice, and you need to select it to get it. Now, there was one done a while back that was a part of some of the stuff I brought into this particular live stream that Waterloo did in reference to a medical deal. What to do and what not to do in response to a biker in an accident. And some of you guys should probably check that quiz out. You can see it under quizzes. It still should be there. See how well you do on that one.
Expand a little on that. If you guys really want to see a great video on that, check out, and unfortunately it's to represent an individual that actually passed away, but check out, it's RIP Dr. John Hines. He was one of the mobile doctors at the
TT.
Yeah. And the video is a long video. It's about 45 minutes, and he breaks down and explains everything that they do for those guys when they go down. So if you want to get some really good info about how that is handled, watch that video, and it is entertaining. The guy was a stand-up guy, and it's sad to see him go, but that's check it out if you guys really see what to do for an accident.
Yeah,
The bike accident.
He was one of the 3 that we lost in the last TT, right?
It was a couple years ago. He actually was killed in a crash while responding to an accident at the TT, correct?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, so we got our shout out to our 5 new joiners that show up on the list as well too for Moto Amino. We're gonna shout them out. You guys pop over on their actual profile, give them a greet me, go from there. But you got number 1, Cert Welder. Number 2 is Thug. Number 3 is Burke 156. I like this one. Number 4, Maserati. MAAZ space ERATI. Maserati. That's pretty cool, man. I like how he did that one. And then number 5 is Tanner Pastoric out of Hamilton, Canada. Now, as I always do, I always go into your actual profiles, and the first thing I do is check your bio. And Cert Welder, you ain't got shit. Doug, you could at least thug it out, man, and give us something too. And Burke 156, no. And I guarantee you, Maserati has a cool name, but doesn't have anything posted in his bio.
Well, damn, can you give the brother some time?
No, because that's a part of it. When you look it up, you get a squid greeter. Ask your wife. She told everybody. No, she used to be a squid greeter, you nerd. Don't go that way, man. Don't make me look bad like that. Ooh, Dragon talking about his wife. He gonna let him get away with that shit, man.
Dude, you should be ashamed of yourself. Damn.
You gotta ask him for his address, man. Find out where he stay. Right, so, I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I keep harping on that every time we do it is you put something in your bio is at least give us some background of you riding, what you ride, and something to that similar that particular situation, because we've had a lot of people who have gotten on the app that are just not motorcyclists at all, and we can tell if you are actually a spam profile as well too. They know about that, but.
So, here you go. If you guys are wanting to know what to put in your bio, I'll read what's in my bio. My bio simply says, I am a 5'9" athletic build. I enjoy long walks on the beach.
What the fuck? This ain't no fucking harmony shit.
Yeah, going extremely fast on a 2-wheeled rocket ship with the infinite possibility of disintegrating into a million pieces.
There you go.
See? That's a blog. That's a bio. Oh. Jay said that was gay as fuck.
I love you, Jay.
But you guys check out the app under quizzes, and also to I don't mind you liking the post that I put up, But say something in response to let me know that you really read it and you didn't just heart it just because you're trying to get your rep points up, you know. Just that's all. That's all I'm saying. Because a lot of these guys take a lot of time to write a blog, and they're not professional writers either. Not only are they adding the photos for you to see to enhance on what they're writing, but they're giving you some detailed information. Like when we had that blog a while back about the stand-up motorcycle that nobody really liked, or a lot of people didn't like.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot that went into that blog, you know. So I know a lot of people did read it, but some didn't, and some just hearted it or liked it. Just like Call of Duty, you just want to get your goddamn rep points up so you can get ranked up or some shit. But
hater,
and I hate Call of Duty fuckers that do the same shit too.
Yeah.
Bunch of damn asses. Anyways, again, man, we're glad you guys showed up. I really appreciated it. And next week, we would love for you to come back again, because we're going to do part deux in French of mods and mechanics.
Ooh.
Everybody, I've seen a whole lot of mods done on some bikes, and I want to see some more. I want to see what you guys got planned, from wrapping your tanks to polishing your wheel if you want to, and adding anything on your bike that you added to make it more customized. Even if you're crazy enough to put a damn 15-inch stretch on your shit.
With a sub.
Polishing your tip.
There you go.
I mean, you want your tip to be polished, so you just streamline straight through the air when you're going down the interstate.
That's after party talk, man. Come on.
No, if you polish the tip of your bike, you go so streamlined, the wind just smoothly runs around you.
No,
Exactly.
give it up, dude. Give it up.
Exactly.
I was just trying to enhance on what Jay said. He was telling the truth. An old black man told me that about when you wax it. He said if you wax it good enough, it will just smoothly go right through the air. I'm just saying, man. All right, I appreciate you guys.
Start the after party live.
I appreciate you guys showing up, showing us love, allowing us to act like idiots at times as well too, but also let us engage and educate you on what we think is important. And what we thought was important this time was motorcycle meets and keeping us safe when we all get into that ride together. So until we see you next week, everybody, start with yours. So Nolan, you've never done this before, sir, but we're going to put you on the spot. You got to do a shout out with a little bit of a smooth comment or statement for your outing.
Well, hold on.
Same as your intro.
Before we do that, I got to read Rocky Roads. I mean, Bike Life Rich. Like, he said, my 8-year-old daughter just said, polish what tip? I had to send her to bed.
Sorry, Biker Life. Obviously, might be your first time, man, but yeah, we don't have a rating on YouTube at all. I'm sorry. Duty and Deuce.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we did kind of put her out there, man. We put her out there. I appreciate we didn't mean to do it like that. Next time you'll know.
Yeah.
Next time you'll know, don't let her be around us, not these guys.
Right.
Don't let her be around us. So as our outro is similar to the intro, except you're not just going to say a goodbye. You're going to say whatever your statement is or whatever your phrase is, catchphrase, whatever it is. And then you're going to let it go at that. So we're going to let you go last. It's not to put you on the spot, Nolan. We're going to put you last to say it so you'll get an idea how we do it. Now, I'm going to give you the worst one of all first. And then I'm going to give you the one that's going to act the worst because they're trying to get a fucking Oscar or some shit. I don't know.
This motherfucker better not be talking about me.
Chaser. So watch how Jay does his outro. Go, Jay.
You put me on the spot, bro. Fuck. Right. Okay. This has been your boy Jay. Fuck. Hang on.
I told you, Nolan.
Eat your motherfucking greens, bitches.
I told you. Now watch this one. Mind Chaser, you're next. Go.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go. You're next.
Look, I don't give a fuck. However cliche it may sound,
Uh-huh.
this is my outro. For every one down, The rest are always gonna be 5 up. Yeah, baby.
I told you, man. I don't know what type of fucking award he's gonna get, but it is not gonna be an Emmy.
That was the most corniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Fuck you.
It really was. It really was. It was horrible. All right, go ahead, Throttle. You got it next, sir.
Well, first I'd just like to say, Nolan, you know you can't do no worse than that shit.
Yep.
But anyway,
Fuck you too, Throttle.
I love you too. Get on 2 wheels and ride safe.
Thank you, sir.
Oh wow.
Mac Daddy, hit us with the best one of all, man.
All right, you guys just remember, keep on macking.
There you go. Simple. See how simple it is? And mine is just as simple as his. Have fun, ride safe.
I'm gonna keep it traditional.
So now, Nola, you got one now. We got to get yours.
Who
What's
that?
yours?
Got to keep it New Orleans.
There you go. That's fine. And you got to give it a thicker accent with the New Orleans accent. You got to do it thicker than that, though.
You gotta do the Nolans thing.
You got to do it real thick. So let's take it from the top one more time. Do it again.
Who that, y'all?
That's it. Woo woo. My bad. Okay. So again, we appreciate you guys for showing up and watching us act a fool and show off. So again, we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And everybody, seriously, have fun. Enjoy your riding. Keep yourself straight. And somebody said something, which he's going to be on our next one, Hollywood. Hollywood has a great outro. We're not even going to say what his is because he's going to say it next week. And if you want to hear it, you got to be here next week to hear it. So, guys, we'll see you later. Check you out. Have a good one. And we'll be going out and